Hi there, my crafty friends. It is Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. I am bringing you another weekly video, and you can see it is a twofer. So I'm going to show you how we made this to make two cards. And this one is fairly simple. We don't have a sentiment or anything on the outside. This one, obviously we do, but let's get our craft on here. So we are going to start, we are using the limited time Painted Seasons bundle. And the first thing we need to do is stamp some images. So we're just going to get some Whisper White thick for the card base and Whisper White regular for the stamping. So I'm going to show you, typically I don't end up showing you how to prepare the card bases. So let's start with that. Using the Stampin' Trimmer, sorry about the glare here, this is our Whisper White thick, and we are going to start, there are two blades on the Stampin' Trimmer. So the light one, I'm gonna say it's Crumb Cake, and this one is probably Soft Suede. This is the scoring blade, and I'm thinking I'm gonna put an S on there and a C on here, or put some dots on there and some scissors on the other one. But we are going to make a side folding card, so we need to score at 4 1/4. So we'll line that up on here, which is a little tricky to do with my phone in the way. So we are going to score down the middle, and I always like to go over it twice. It's not a super deep score line. And then we are going to trim at 5 1/2. And this makes two A2 size card bases. So we can score it in the middle. I like to butt it up against a straight surface so that I get a nice fold. You can use your bone folder here. So we are going to be using both of these for our cards. On my sample, one of them was a top folding card, but it just happened to be the base that I had ready and available at the time. Okay, so there are our two card bases. I will score those with or fold them with my bone folder. Now we are going to cut 4 card mats from our piece of Whisper White. So what I like to do is start with a 4. Cut that. Now I usually use a bigger cutter when I'm preparing for my classes. This is just to give you the benefit of seeing the cutting and scoring. But if you are just a hobby crafter and you're not making cards en masse, the Stampin' Trimmer is perfect. Okay, now that was 4. This is 5 1/4. That's the scoring blade, the cutting blade. So each piece of 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock will give you either 2 card bases or 4 card mats. And this is the mat that I tend to go with, is 4 by 5 1/4, because the card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I know that's a lot of fractions thrown at you. Okay, so we are done with that. We now have our 4 card mats. So just lock that up. There's a little latch here so that this doesn't move when you've got it not in use. Or for better grammar, when you are not using it. Okay, so we need just one of our card mats and our stamp set and a few blocks. So I just want to leave our samples kind of in the corner here so you can see what I'm doing. I am going to switch up the colors. So we need pretty much all but the pine cone and these 2 little pieces. We will need our thinlits after the fact. Actually, we are going to stick with the same colors because I actually have some that are already stamped and cut. These cards, when I made them initially, were for my Stamp Club ladies as a thank you, and this one will be going out to a customer that placed a fairly large order with me. So I am going to show you how we did this part. The rest of it, it's just plain stamping. You don't really need to see that. Look at me working smart instead of hard. I had all these cut and ready for you. So this flower here, obviously, is this one. I'm going to mount it on a C block. A D is just a little bit big, and I will grab Flirty Flamingo, and I want to say that was Mango Melody, Grapefruit Grove. So we'll open those both up. I want to keep these for you to see, but it's just limited space. So I'm just grabbing my sponge daubers, which if you haven't watched one of my videos in the past, this is how I store them. It's just a little craft organizer little bin, and this is my Grapefruit Grove. So each of the colors, I'm trying to prevent the glare, eventually we'll have a Stampin' Spot, one of these sponges, and a finger dauber. So what I did was I inked this up fully with a Grapefruit Grove, sorry, Flirty Flamingo, put my sponge dauber, and then just do a little dab in the middle. Whoopsie, not quite enough. So let's do that again. And you can see it looks beautiful without that little bit in the middle. Ink it up, Flirty Flamingo. A little bit of dabs in the middle. It's always an adventure with me. There we go. Always an adventure. So we can close those up, and through the magic of TV, we've got everything ready. So here comes the magic. I just realized the only succulent we don't have is the Highland Heather, but I think we might be okay without it. Maybe we'll do one. I'll show you. My highlight, or my succulent, does have a little flaw in it, and I'm just waiting for a replacement, but we'll make this work in the meantime. We've got a couple of spots that we could fit in. We'll just do one or two. Actually, it looks like I just need one. So there we go. You can see there's a tiny little piece in there that doesn't quite stamp. These are distinctive stamps, meaning that you get kind of a photorealistic image of it. Let's do one more back here. I knew I did that. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. Now we will cut this. Actually, like that side better. It's a little bit darker. We'll run those through the Big Shot. So Painted Seasons, the stamp set and the designer series paper are free with a $120 purchase in Canada. And then the coordinating thinlits are part of the Sale-A-Bration coordination, and you can purchase these. And off the top of my head, I'm going to say that they are $39, but I could be wrong. Everything will be linked below. And you can just click on any of those links if you want to purchase any of those supplies within Canada. I can only sell within the Canadian market. So if live elsewhere and you subscribe to my videos, thank you so much. And you can just order with the demonstrator that you're already working with, or you can go onto the Stampin' Up! Website and use the demonstrator locator to find out who is in your area that you can shop with if you don't already have a demonstrator. The beauty about these coordinating thin lids is that there are a couple of multiples. So for that tiny little leaf, there are 3 of them. For this one, there are 2, and the rest each have 1. Actually, no, this fern type thing has 2 of them. So you can cut out multiples at one time. I love that Stampin' Up! Is doing that. It helps us to work smarter, not harder. You don't have to put something through the big shot 50 times to get 50 of them. It's a beautiful thing, as Martha would say. Okay, so here comes the magic. We are going to use Glad Press and Seal. And if you watch Jennifer McGuire's videos, you know that it was her husband that invented this. So thank you, Mr. McGuire. So we are going to rip off a piece of that. And I mean, obviously this is meant for food, but just wait and see what we do here. So we are going to take another one of those mats. So we've used 2 out of the 4. The other 2 you can just set aside and use for another project. Now we are going to lay this out the way that we want it. There we go. Now, we take our press and seal, and it is sticky on one side and not so much on the other. So just place that down. Whoops. Press it down. And then peel it up. I've just got a couple little stragglers in here. Now you have 2 options here. You can cut it with this mat attached, or you can just cut it like this. And I think for the sake of this video, we are going to put this back. It might be a little bit easier for you to see that way. I'm going to trim off some of this excess. You could probably just rip it. Now, some more magic. We are going to take our stitched rectangle dies, which are part of the Amazing Life bundle in the Occasions catalog. And we are going to cut it just a little bit smaller than that. So just line that up. And I'm not using my magnetic platform. We're just going to use a bit of washi tape. And you can leave all of the tack on your washi tape because it's not actually touching anything that we need here. So I'm just going to run this through the Big Shot. Okay, I think we're clear. So we're going to peel this off. And we are going to use this piece that we're peeling off right now. So we'll set that aside. Actually, it's not very straight, so I will trim that and use it for a mat on something else. we will work with our third card mat. Okay, now let's get some dimensionals. We'll use some full size, we'll use some minis, and we'll use some of the edges. So anywhere you have a bigger piece, obviously use a full size one. Okay, we are ready to roll. You have your option of placing this down, but I would prefer to try and keep it straight by going this way. And let's just put this guy back in the middle so that we have an idea of where it needs to go. I swear to you, this was easier when the camera was not rolling. See, and I glued that one just all willy-nilly and it's way off. So now the easiest thing to do would be to trim this off so that I don't have to peel this away. I can see that we've got some dimensionals here that we don't need. I like to just take my little trimmer, lift this up, and you could line it up. I'm being a rebel right now. It's not to the edge. You could absolutely use scissors for this part, but I want to know that I am getting a perfectly straight cut. Go. We are now good to take the press and seal off, but you do want to be very careful at this point so that you don't rip your cardstock. And you can see I'm just using my paper piercing tool to hold down my die cuts. I'm telling you, this press and seal does not seem sticky at all until you go to take it away. So there was a demonstrator on our Facebook group, our demonstrator only Facebook group, that posted this, and I'm so sorry, I do not remember your name. And I know Jackie Aitken has also cased this using this same bundle. So this is not my design. It is genius. I wish it was my design. And I will do a another thorough search to see if I can find out who that demonstrator was, because you need to give credit where credit is due. I'm just going to pop this piece off so we can line it up properly, hopefully without ripping it. So I did do this kind of backwards. When I had done it originally, there wasn't going to be any guesswork because it was all still going to be attached. So I kind of did do this the hard way. But let's see if we can get this back on here. It was cute when my ladies got their thank you cards. They're like, oh, mine matches with yours. So I'm guessing that one is that. Yeah, I really did not do this the easiest way. These should have all still been attached to the present seal. My apologies, my friends. To see the easier way to do this, I was already planning to, but I will definitely link to Jennifer McGuire's video, and you can see how to do it properly. I would love to re-record, but I have 9 million things that I have to get done today. I work full-time and it is back to work tomorrow, so the things I need to do will not get done if I am a perfectionist, which I gave up a long, long time ago. So I'm just starting with these bigger pieces. And actually, given that I am gluing these down, I couldn't have kept it attached to the present seal, so haha, I didn't screw up. But trust me, friends, this is not the easy way to do this. I'm sorry, my big fat arm is getting in the way. Probably my head too. So when I'm lining these up, I'm also trying to ensure that I stay with the stitch lines on here. Just a couple more little pieces. Now, the person that is getting the outside part of the card is not going to have the benefit of seeing the other person's puzzle. So it won't be like Stamp Club where they're trying to match them up. On that note, if you are in the Winnipeg area or nearby and would like to join Stamp Club, I will be starting another one when I have enough interested people. So my current Stamp Club is the first one that I've really done, and it is a 6-month commitment, and because there are 6 ladies, they spend $35 per month before taxes and shipping. And when it is their host month, they get at least $21 in host rewards. And during Sale-A-Bration, everyone got to share in the rewards, so that was great. And also, there will be an additional perk, but you have to join Stamp Club before I can divulge that. Need to keep some stuff surprise, right? Okay, so this is a little bit tacky all over. Not tacky as in gaudy, but tacky as in sticky. And there are these spots where they're just going off the edge. And I know this because they keep sticking. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit more off here. There we go. And And this is not a Stampin' Up! Trimmer, but this is the one that I keep on my desk all the time. I love that it's small. It is sharp like you would not believe. So anyways, my Home to Roost class, which was yesterday. Today is Sunday, March 3rd. And yes, I am filming this on the day that it's set to go live. Last week was really a week. But I had a demonstrator friend that came to this class, and she said for the parts that are sticky, instead of trying to use my adhesive eraser to get rid of the stick, put some dazzling diamonds on it, which I thought was genius. So this will cover up and take care of that sticky part. And if you did find that it wasn't uniform, there wasn't enough dazzling diamonds, you could use some additional adhesive to get it to stay on there. But I want to thank Sharon of Creating with Sharon for this wonderful tip, because I was really not okay with all those sticky parts. Okay, and then I was going to take a brush here. There's a little bit more than I want on that flower. You can spread it around. And just blow off any excess. Oh, so pretty. Now we have a couple of quick steps before this is finished. First, we are going to put a few pearls. And you can see that I've colored quite a few of my pearls. Whenever I am using an embellishment, I always use an odd number. And because this is a larger piece, we are going to go with 5 or 7. Not just 3. We're going to use the small size, the medium size. The large is a bit too large. And there we go. I am also going to use my Frost White Shimmer Paint, as if there wasn't enough bling on here, and give it a couple of sprays. Now we need our sentiment in the middle, and I am not going to make this card. You saw the basics of it. You will see that we will end up with 2 cards in the end, but I think this video has gotten long enough now. I'm at 40 minutes, which is ridiculous. I will cut that down. So yeah, not going to make the second card. We are going to use You Are Pretty Much the Best Ever, because my customers, my Stampin' Tribe, are the best ever. Not pretty much, but they are. We're going to use Gray Granite. I just like to go in a few spots in case I've always used the middle and there's not enough ink there. No, we're gonna go in the middle. Now you may think, oh, it would have been better to stamp it first, but that is up to you. This is the way I did it. So that is it, my friends. Keep that one there, and you can see there's quite a bit of difference between the bling on those two. But that is it. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and as I always say on my blog, I hope that you have found some inspiration here. Please note that all of the supplies will be listed below, and I will try to remember to link to Jennifer McGuire's video. So I thank you for joining me, friends. I hope you will consider hitting that big subscribe button below to get a new video each and every week. Bye, friends.